You know, there's nothing like being in the green room, and we're here with the one and only, the ladies who showed up, not only talk about walking through hell, but more importantly, what you can do to improve the quality of your life. So, ladies, all the authors, say hello to the audience, say hi to them. That's your singing away. Hey, hi, they're here. They showed up just to see you. So, with that being said, I know y'all all watching. You're seeing all these hands waving around, and you want to know who in the LL Cool J are all these folks. Well, we're going to find out, number one, their name. We're going to then understand where they're broadcasting from. And I'm going to ask them as we're starting off, just what is the name of their chapter? I mean, you would want to know that, I think, at a minimum. So we're going to start with the one and only Shannon. And Shannon, tell them your name, tell them where you're broadcasting from, and more importantly, tell them the name of your chapter.
My name is Shannon Hancock. I am coming in from the volunteer state of Tennessee. And the name of my chapter is The Rebirth.
The Rebirth. Now, the rebirth means many things to different people. Tell us, why did you select that title, Rebirth? We're just curious. Now, I know you can't give us the whole story in the time we have, but in the next 90 seconds, why that chapter and why now?
I call it The Rebirth because I felt like with what I wrote about in the chapter, I had hit my absolute rock bottom in my life. And I felt like I couldn't go any further down. So I felt like this is life after this is what's going to thrush me back up. And so I just felt like it was time to rebirth, to squash everything, and to focus on being a healthier me.
I like it, a healthier you. Kathy, as you're listening and you hear those words, rebirth, and you just hear what Shannon's talking about, we're curious, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, I think it's a direct reflection of what we all kind of went through with our chapters. All of us, in some way, shape, or form, were reborn. And we changed and cultivated ourselves to better fit our lives that we wanted, that we chose, versus the situations we were put into. So we decided we were going to be reborn.
Says so well, says so well. All right, Shannon, we can't wait. Don't worry, we get to the other side. We're going to ask Shannon more about her chapter. We're going to ask her more about what she went through. She has a lot to share with you. Don't worry about that. All right, Natalie, as you're sitting over there, folks are sitting there, and they're looking at you now, and they're curious. What's her full name, Shay? But more importantly, what's the name of her chapter?
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Bonner, and I am in Biloxi, Mississippi. And the name of my chapter is This Does Not Happen to People Like Me.
Now, you heard me ask the question to the other person, so you know what the next question is going to be. Why that chapter? You should know this by now. Why now? Talk to us.
Why now is because I feel comfortable and confident in sharing my story. And why did I name the chapter This Doesn't Happen to People Like Me? It's because I followed all the rules. And when you follow all the rules, you have a set expectation of how things are going to turn out. And when you find yourself in hell, you automatically think this shouldn't happen to someone like me.
I can't wait. I can't wait. We're talking to the authors, talking about Walk Past Hell. We're going to learn more about that. Thanks for sharing, by the way. Kathy, you're over there smiling. You're up there. You listen to the two folks below. You know what the question is now. Tell us your name, where you're broadcasting from, and the name of your chapter.
I'm Kathy Nisley. I currently live in Warner Robins, Georgia, but I am a born and raised LA girl. My chapter is called Blazing My Own Path. I named it that because I kind of felt like I had been living for everybody else for a really long time, and I was at my lowest, so it was my turn.
Okay. I can't wait to hear more about that. Blazing your chapter. You already told us the reason why. Look, we're going to go in the green room in a moment. We'll get out of here, but we're behind the scenes, and this is when y'all get to find out what's going on. So I got to ask Dr. Yolanda, the visionary behind Walk Past Hell Anthology. We want to know what's this title all about and why you felt now was the right time to even launch this book and launch these messages to the world. And you look good. We can't hear you yet, but she's on mute because she's so cool, but don't worry.
I'm here. Sorry about that. But I named the book My Walk Past Hell because I know I've definitely been past hell a few times, but I know throughout life, not only I, but many other people have gone through hell. And I know these ladies, after, just this experience with them, they've all pretty much went past hell. And these stories, I'm telling you, they're going to have you on an emotional roller coaster. But my walk past hell is basically getting to the deep trauma that people have experienced. We all have experienced trauma in our life, but we're talking about some very, very deep trauma that people don't normally talk about. And the reason why I decided to do this now, I mean, look, we're in a pandemic. We've experienced hell just being in this pandemic. So why not now? People are looking for inspiration. They're looking for hope. They're looking for encouragement. And this book is going to give them just that.
Well, we're going to hear on the other side. She said this book is going to give you just that. Here's the good news. You don't have to wait. It's going to happen right now and as soon as we get started. Shout out to the one and onlys out there. Rita Green is watching right now. Thanks a lot, Michael, up in New York. New York, so nice. They named it twice. Judy Ambrose is in the house. James is in the house. Brenda Babe Young is in the house. The one and only from Biloxi, Mississippi, y'all know the name. Karen Cherry is in the house. Y'all bring out the rock stars. The rock stars are just in the house, and I promise you, they're not going to disappoint you. They're ready. I'm fired up because I want to talk about walk past hell. We come back. We're going to start off, and don't worry, Shannon's going to start, and we're going to learn her whole story. We'll be back in 5. I can't wait. 4, this is the fun part. 3, 2, 1, it's showtime. We'll be right back. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big, 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 big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always like to share that I believe you have 3 visions. I share this every show, and it's so important to me. I believe first you have a vision for yourself. The type of clothes you want to wear, the organic food that you want to eat, the home that you want to be inside of that has that heat and air conditioning when the time is right, by the way. And it takes resources. It takes revenue to make that happen. And then I believe you have a second vision. You have a vision for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, the kids that you want to send to a school of your choice. Some of you are like me. Mother Dear's still here. She's 15 minutes down the road, 73 years old. I love hanging out with Mother Dear, and Mother loves shopping on Amazon now. How many know that card's connected to my account? But the last year, she's got really good at getting boxes almost like every day, and that's kind of cool. But some of you want to write a check for a loved one, their health care insurance. Some of you want to write a check for a cause you believe in. It takes resources. It takes revenue. And then the third vision I believe you have is you have a vision for those people out there that you were called to serve. And I like to share the story of Noah in the Bible. I think it's a good example, and you don't have to be a believer, although I am a believer, but you don't have to be one. But imagine if you're Noah, and you have this big vision, and you decide before you start this whole race that you're not going to do it. You're going to just get yourself a little boat. You're going to put in your family, put in a couple goats, a couple chickens in there. Some of y'all want to put a hog, I understand. Push the hog in there. And you'll be fine. But no, Noah had a vision like you, given it to him, I believe, by God, to come through him to someone else. And imagine before Noah got started, imagine there was a knock at the door. And Noah said, "What's up?" Someone says, "Yo, Noah." They did say yo back in the day. I want y'all to know that. "Yo, Noah, there's a problem. There's no hammers in the house." Noah says, no hammers, no big deal. I'm okay, okay. Imagine there was another knock at the door. Someone says, Shorty! They did say Shorty back in the day. I just want y'all to know that. There's a problem. There's no nails. No hammer, no nails. Rule number 1, we never panic. And then someone yells from all the way in the back, Noah! They're all the way in the back. And they're waving their hands like this. And they say, Noah, we got to report. There's no wood and there's no people to put the boat together. Good luck on this mission. And some of you are right there right now. You're walking in hell, trying to get past it. And you're like, I need some help. I want to know someone else has been here. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, they showed up, the authors of Walking Past Hell Anthology. Say hello, ladies. Say hello to all the audience that are out there right now. They want to know your story. They're saying, this is my time. This is my time. So for all the single moms that are watching, the single dads, the married couples, the entrepreneurs, the dualpreneurs that worked all day, and you're here now, well, we're going to start with Shannon. She'll tell you her name, because I'll let her do that, because some of y'all weren't in the green room. We'll let her share where she's broadcasting. Then I want to take a minute or two and kind of tell us a little about her chapter, why the chapter is important to her. So, Shannon, if you will, take a moment. Tell me your name again. Tell me the name of your chapter, where you're broadcasting from, and then take maybe a 2 minutes or so and kind of talk about the importance of the chapter, why you wrote this chapter.
Okay. My name is Shannon Hancock. I'm coming in from the volunteer state of Tennessee. The chapter, like I said earlier, is called The Rebirth. And the reason I wrote the chapter was because it was a time in my life that it could happen to anybody. And really, it was a time in my life that to really teach people to always be aware of their surroundings, no matter where they are, because you don't know what will happen. And this instance happened to me in a time that I felt I should have been most safe because I was in my home. And so what I did was I went back to when this occurred and thought about other people that it might have happened to that have never spoke out, or people might have happened to that have kept silent to themselves, but maybe just told close friends. And I thought that if I wrote about it, it could help someone else. And that was my biggest push to write it, was to see what I can do to help someone else maybe come out of their shell that they're in, or to help them communicate their feelings and kind of just bring things to a closure for themselves. And just know that they're not alone. They're just not alone.
You're not alone. For folks out there like Dr. Sakisha, who's watching right now from Florida, for Jamila that's out there right now, Valerie Thompson is watching right now, Cynthia Fields is watching. I see you out there, Takia, and so many folks that are tuning in right now. Take a moment and talk about why you decided to participate in this particular anthology. You could have told that story a lot of different places, but why this anthology? Was obviously with the visionary Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Why did you decide to share your story with this anthology?
This one actually kind of fell in my lap in a way. One of my best friends from high school is also in the book with me, and she coaches a writing team, and she brought me in as one of the people in the meeting to talk to the other writers, because both her and I are writers. And I got a chance to meet with Dr. Yolanda Jerry. And when she was talking about the book, I was like, I just felt like God saying, this is what you're supposed to do, like tapping me on the shoulder. This is her. This is who you're supposed to do this with. And I just felt like a presence of like calmness come over me. And within literally before the end of the Zoom, I had a title that I would want to use. I knew exactly what I wanted to say. And it just came together. I just felt like this was where I needed to be. And since then, committing to it's like I walked into a whole arm of friends and family, and just a sistership, just a connection that all of us have found in each other. We've laughed together, we've cried together, and we've made it through this book together. So I just felt like I was very compelled to be part of this before I even knew any of the other co-authors besides my friend. Yeah.
What would you say to the young ladies sitting out there watching right now? They might have in their ears, they might be in the kitchen, maybe taking care of the family, or just by themselves, and they're thinking to themselves, "Wow, I need to go through a rebirth, and I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm scared. I'm nervous." I know it's a loaded question, but I'm just curious, what's on your heart to the person that's doubting right now if they can even do this, or should they just stay in their current situation? What would you say to that lady? And it could be a man. I don't want to be wrong. It could be a man that's in that problem, is in that same situation. What would your words of encouragement be right now to that person? What would you say to them?
To always believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. And the reason I say that, about 20 years ago, it was actually a fortune in a fortune cookie that I had. And I was having a rough day at work, and we'd ordered lunch, it got delivered. That was my fortune. And still to this day, I still have that fortune cookie fortune, because I believe that everybody needs to believe in themselves. If you don't believe in yourself, then you can't believe in others. Just like if you don't love yourself, you can't completely love someone else. So believe in yourself, and everything else will work out smoothly.
You know, I'm going to go over to Kathy in a moment. We're going to come right back to you. And I'm curious, as Kathy's listening and she's hearing you say those words, believe in yourself, I'm curious on what's going through her mind right now, and what is she hearing as she's hearing this story?
I think what pops into my head most is that when we begin to lack belief in ourselves, that's when we are at our weakest. Everybody else, I mean, and I say this all the time, you don't need to hate on yourself, because there are plenty of those in the world. You don't need to hold yourself back, because there's somebody who's going to do that for you. What you need to do is believe in yourself, tune everybody else out, and be on your merry way. And when that belief in yourself gets rocked, it steals a piece of your soul in a sense, and you can't let that go. And I think too many people do. They get knocked on their butt, and they tend to stay there. Don't stay there. Find that belief. Bring it back. Everything you put out comes back to you. So if you lost it, you can get it back.
If you lost it, you can get it back. I love it. I love it. Shannon, if you can, tell us what the experience has been like. First, thank you for being open and authentic. We appreciate that. What has the experience been for you going through this anthology project? And for those folks that are out there watching, by the way, that are tuned in, you can participate as well. We believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So hit the share button. Like right now, like you can hit that share button. Just hit that share button. And when you hit that share button, you're going to pay this forward to your network, or you can copy and paste the link, copy the link, put it into another Facebook group. They're all okay with that. You can do that now. When that box pops up, just write serve plus add value. Serve plus add value. That's what they're doing right now. All right, Shannon, tell us what the experience has been like going through this anthology, Walk Past Hell.
It's actually been one of the smoothest projects I've been part of. Dr. J has literally held our hand through the whole thing. She has explained everything. It's been just a support system, from everybody. Everybody supports everybody, and it's literally like, it's like having 30 best friends. It's like literally like having 30 best friends. And I think that most of us, this is one of our first published publications. And so it's a bond that we all have. And I think that we're always going to have that bond, because not only are we bonded in life, like a sisterhood, but we're bonded in the theme of that book. And it's been an amazing experience. Like, I would do it 10 times over with 10 different people, but I'd want them all to be these same people, you know? It's just been absolutely amazing. It's been a support system. It's been a time to laugh. It's time to cry. It's a time to not a time to even justify. We can't justify what happened in our walk past hell, but we can justify how we walked past it and how we're going to be living from today forward. And with that being said, you can't break a bond if there's no cracks in the cement. So with that being said, we are in this together. We're a sisterhood. And we're here to go fight. We're a tribe. Dr. Jerry's tribe.
I love it. Your sisterhood. You're here to fight. I got a brother hanging out this evening with y'all, so it's an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure just to be here with the sisterhood. I'm okay with that. My man, it will allow that, by the way. It will. For those folks out there watching, the share button, thank you so much. We got Cynthia Fields is in the house. Tavia Wilkins is in the house. Thank you so much. Yvonne North Wilmington is in the house. Ray Campbell is in the house. Frank Henderson. So many folks that are tuning in right now. Kelvin, my good friend down in Houston, Texas, in the house. Dr. Yolanda, you're the visionary. I'd like to ask, and the audience wants to know, why you selected the chapter from Shannon and why it was important for this message to be told as part of the Walking Past Hell Anthology. And don't worry, Natalie's coming up. She's fired up. She's ready. She can't wait to share her message with you. And then Kathy's back there as well. So we got more. They've got more. And Shannon got more. Don't worry. All right, Dr. Yolanda, talk to us. It's okay. We can't hear you, but we'll hear you in a second.
I do it every time. You know what? We're going to keep rolling. So why did I select her chapter?
Yes.
Why her chapter?
Mm-hmm.
Shannon has a chapter that, literally, it took me to a place where you feel like you were at the bottom, and she showed you how she was able to come back all the way up, not necessarily just coming up some for air, but she came all the way back up. Like she hit rock bottom, literally rock bottom to the very bottom. And to see her transform and see how she was able to move from that bottom and continue to elevate to where she is right now, somebody's going to be able to take a lot from her chapter. And it's crazy because, there's a lot of people that are suffering right now, going exactly through what she went through. And they will be able to take those nuggets and be like, look, I know we're in a pandemic right now, and I know I've hit rock bottom, but if Shannon was able to walk past hell, so can I.
Said so well. If someone else can do it, especially Shannon, so can you. For all of you out there right now, I want you to hit the share button. I want you to pay this message forward. I want you to bless another little girl or big girl or a little boy or big boy that's out there right now and help them walk past hell. Let them know that they can be down, but they're not out. Isn't that pretty cool? That's what it's all about. Okay, coming up next is the one and only Natalie. And don't worry, Natalie will let you know her full name. I'm just saying Natalie, but she'll let you know her full name. She'll tell you where she's broadcasting in from, then the name of her chapter, and then she'll tell you a little bit about why she wrote the chapter and what the chapter is about. Now, you got to get the book, okay? But I'm asking them to give you a little sneak, pull back the big black curtain, if you will, and kind of reach into their treasure chest of secrets and kind of unleash them with you. Isn't that kind of cool? I'm so glad you're here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you so much. All right, Natalie, over to you. Talk to us.
Hi, I'm Natalie Bonner. I'm coming to you from Biloxi, Mississippi, and the title of my chapter is This Doesn't Happen to People Like Me. And first of all, I wanted to be a part of this anthology because it felt safe. There have been many others, but with Dr. Yolanda spearheading this one, it felt like a very safe place for me to tell my story, a story that my children aren't aware of and many of my family members. And when I entitled it, This Doesn't Happen to People Like Me, is because on the outside, everything looked idyllic. You go to college, you participate in all of the social activities, you come from what appears to be a very stable solid family, you marry someone who represents your ideal man, but inside you are dying, and you are also having to be responsible because you are being complicit in the hell you're experiencing. So this was my opportunity to share my story in hopes of helping someone else who are actively participating in their own hell. And just kind of, as you mentioned, pull back that curtain to be authentic about what your life looks like versus the show that you're putting on for everyone else.
Wow. Now, you can't just leave us there. You can't just leave us hanging. Now, I can't just say, show doesn't happen for everybody else. We're like on our seats. We're like, hey, God darn, give us the juicy part. So what was one thing that you did to kind of turn it around to help kind of, they got to get the book, but we're right on the edge. You're like, man, the person I love, and I did this, and I just want to leave y'all hanging on the cliff. You can't. Don't worry. I'm not going to let her. She won't do that to you. I promise you. So take a moment, if you will, and as you're doing that, kind of share what was one secret, what was one thing you did to help kind of get yourself on the right path to walk past hell. You know, you might have to give us the whole story now, but they want to know, like, gosh, did she just jump up one day and get excited and just go do this thing? Like, what was the defining moment? And then what was one step that you had to take to get going past hell? Because someone right now is stuck and they're looking around thinking they're by themselves, and they want to know, what do I need to do to get started? So what would you say to that person that's watching right now?
First, you have to find the point where the pain is unbearable and you can't take the pain anymore. And also, you have to look at, especially if you have children, do you want them to continue to see you in pain? So you have to think about their futures. And that will spearhead you, that will light a fire in you, because then you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for others. But in doing it for others, you're saving yourself.
Doing it for others, you're saving
yourself.
You know, I'm listening as you're saying that, and I'm curious. What's one of the reasons why, and I asked this last person the same question, I think it's very relevant as well, but what's one of the reasons why you decided to participate in this book, in Walk Past Hell, and in this anthology with the one and only Dr. Yolanda Jerry?
I'm a functioning introvert, first of all.
You are? We can't tell. You're doing a great job over there.
I am a functioning introvert. And Dr. Yolanda, as I said, I've said many times, she made it feel very safe to share my story. And as Shannon mentioned, and Kathy, is that you have this sisterhood, this support system where you could share your story without judgment of, some people will read the story, and I've heard people not knowing my story say, there is no way I would allow this or that. And you're thinking, you really don't know how you're going to react until you're in that situation. So this anthology and under Dr. Jerry's tribe is a very safe place for this functioning introvert. And that's why it was so easy for me, because of her. And that's my truth.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing, by the way. Thank you for sharing. And I'm curious, as Shannon is listening to you right now, and you said, be in a safe place, be able to share in a safe place. I'm curious what's kind of going through Shannon's mind right now as she's listening to you. Shannon, if you would, take a moment and just kind of share thoughts that you had as you heard her talk about being in a safe place, being able to share. You never know what you're going to do. What's going through your mind?
To go off the tail end of what she's saying, I think that anytime that you go through something and you feel that you're in hell, all you want is a safe, warm, welcome, hug, blanket, corner, chair, just a safe, cozy place. And that's kind of, she was talking about, she felt this is a safe place. All 30 women have collaborated together to create a safe place. Each of us have warm, nurturing gestures about us and talents. And I can send each and every single one of them a message and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. And they're going to stop what they're doing. They're going to help me out. And they're going to make sure that I'm dusting myself off. I'm ready to go. And I'm not just crawling, but I'm running and walking when they get done with me. It's that type of safe place that all of us have created in this anthology. It's all the communications, it's all the, atta girls, it's all pat on the backs. We're all here to support one another. We follow each other like we're following a school bus, like, we're chasing a school bus. We follow each other from group to group, meeting to meeting, show to show, their businesses, and we just support one another as a sisterhood. I started today going through the group, figuring out who had businesses and started buying from them just to support my sisters.
Thank you for
And
sharing.
that's just how I feel. It's a safe place. You can come and get a hug and you're going to be okay. You just know you're going to be okay.
Wow. Well, can we all do a group hug? Can we all do like this? Let's all do like this right now. Can I get a? Let's all just do a hug. I want to be part of this group hug. And you virtually, you're now in this hug. You're part of this circle. We've never done this before, but it sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Like we're all part of it. I feel like I'm just part of this family already. And you at home, you watching, you're part of it. You better get the book. Don't worry, I'm gonna ask them how to do all that right now. But you're hearing it from the heart. They didn't show up and ask you for a Zelle payment. They're not here asking for a Cash App. They're here to serve. And they're sharing what's on their heart. There's no script. They didn't say you got to say anything. They just want to hang out with you. So hit the share button if you haven't done that. Like pay this message for. I'm going to ask Dr. Yolanda in a second, of course, why this chapter? Why now? She's the visionary. But you at home, you can share this message. So hit the share button right now. When you hit the share button, pay it forward to your group. Pay it forward to your organization. Bless someone else right now, because when Dr. Yolanda finishes, don't worry. Don't worry. We got Kathy coming up. The best is still yet to come. They're just getting started. They've got more. All right, Dr. Yolanda, talk to us. Why this chapter? You know the drill. Why now?
I got off mute this
Good,
time.
we can hear you loud and clear.
Natalie's chapter and why her chapter, because I saw me in her chapter. I was one of those women who went through similar things that she has gone through. And to be able to, like she mentioned, I don't want my kids to see this. I want my kids not to think this is okay. That was me. And so why not have someone be a part of this anthology, especially where I felt like, well, that was me. She's telling my story. Right? She's telling part of my story. I tell my story, but she's also sharing her story, but sharing our story. So that's why it's Natalie. Why now? Because she said she's a functioning introvert. It was her time to be able to open her mouth, be a voice, and no longer be just a functioning introvert. She needs to also be an extrovert as well. So I call them ambiverts. That's what they are. You part introvert, part extrovert, so we're trying to get her to be that ambivert.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. And one of the things I love is we having some real talk. So I love the conversation. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. Don't worry. Coming up now, we're going to go to the one and only Kathy. And Kathy's going to tell you where's her name, her full name, so y'all can find her. Y'all can Google her. Y'all going to do that. I know it. And then she's going to tell you where she's broadcasting from, and then the name of her chapter and a little bit about what the chapter is about. So you stay tuned. You watch with new eyes right now. You listen with new ears. And, Kathy, we're going to turn it over to you to talk to us.
Hi, I'm Kathy Nisley. I currently live in Warner Robins, Georgia, but I am a born and raised LA girl. My chapter is named Blazing My Own Path. I had not up to that point had the ability to be me because I had allowed someone else to devalue me. I'd always kind of been a hellraiser, and then I ended up in the military, in a marriage that just didn't completely work. And I allowed that person to make me believe my path had to be with their path, or I could not have a path. And when I realized I am my own person, I have my own ability to stand on my own feet, there wasn't a power in the world that could hold me back. And it was huge, because whether it was because I learned to value myself, but it was more because I learned to value my children and realized how backwards I had been, because I had looked past them because I was in the middle of hell, and they became my savior.
Wow, they became your savior in the middle of hell. I love what we're hearing. First of all, thank you for being authentic. Take a moment, if you would, as you talk about that, take a moment and talk to us about what the experience has been like. I'm going to come back to your story, but I just want folks to hear what the experience is like when you're part of Dr. Yolanda's anthology. In this case, it's Walk Past Hell.
We're a tribe. We are Dr. Yolanda Jerry's tribe. And it is a powerful tribe, because we're a force to be reckoned with. I mean, as individual women, people can balance. As a group of 30 strong, independent women ready to tell their story and to stand on their own 2 feet, we are unstoppable. And I don't know if everybody truly understands just how awesome we really are, but they will find out. They will find out shortly. So it's phenomenal. It is a group of loving and caring, and I know a lot of people like to say non-judgment, but I really don't feel like I would be judged on whatever it is that I bring to the group. Whether I'm having a bad day, a good day, I don't know. I'm living in a moment where something horrible's happened and I'm having to deal with it. I know that they'd be there for me. So we're just powerful. Simply.
Now we can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Check 1,
Okay.
check
There you
2,
go.
check 3. Okay, all right. I was trying to be like you. I was trying to hit the mute button. Now I can see how difficult it is. Lord Jesus. Okay. What I was saying to myself, by the way, is I love how authentic you each are and how you're sharing your testimony or your story. And I'm curious, as I asked the other two, I believe as well, Kathy, for someone that's out there right now that's in that same situation. They're going through something right now. Someone forwarded this to them. Maybe they're watching us live. Maybe they're listening to the podcast. Maybe they got the replay. What would your message be to them? And they're like, I've got to walk past hell. I've got to get started, and I've got to take the first step. What would your recommendation be? What's one thing you suggest they can do just to get started on the right path?
First and foremost, you can do this. That is the little voice I have heard in the back of my mind the whole time. When I'd have my weak moments, there's this little voice, you can do this, you can do this, and then I jump. So believe that you can do this. Secondly, you're not alone. You're never alone. Part of being, don't realize that something just happened. I think I lost everybody.
Yeah, it went blank for just a second. Don't worry, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened, but there's a first time for everything. The older I get, the more things that happen. Let me see. So I see 1, I see 2. Say hello, someone, so I can make sure y'all can hear me. Kathy, can you hear me?
Hello.
There you go.
I
there
can
you go.
hear you.
All right, so we'll go get the one and only Dr. Yolanda in just a second. We'll go get her. But I'm not sure what happened because we've never had that happen. But the older I get, the more things that never happened in my life. Okay, you were going to tell us.
It's all the power in the room.
Huh? Yeah, I've never seen that happen. But then again, like I said, it's the first time. I'm going to give Dr. Yolanda, but I'm going to turn back to you. Sorry about that. You was talking about what they should do. We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we really are live. This is like live. It really is. All right. We don't make these things up. I can't make these stories up. All right. Back over to you, Kathy. You could jump right back in if you would, and then I'm going to be right back.
don't allow yourself to be victimized alone. You have people around you. Reach out to them. It's hard. It's very hard. But reach out to them. I guarantee you, what you think they're not seeing, they see. They see what's going on. They're just honestly kind of waiting for you to take that first step. It sounds very odd, but I think sometimes people live in fear of being rejected when they know that you're going through something. So it makes it hard for them to come to you and say, do you need my help? So sometimes you have to be the one, even though you're the one going through the hard time, you have to let them know it's okay. It's okay for you to ask me if I need your help. I'm not going to reject you, and I need you here.
What would you say to the person that's listening right now? And I'm wondering, as you're listening, Allie, you've been listening this time around, what's kind of going through your mind right now as she's speaking?
What she said, ask for help, because you think you're keeping things secret, but people are aware and they are afraid to say something to you. But when you meet someone or there's someone that you can reach out to, do it. Don't be embarrassed, shame. Women, and we're going through things, we have this badge of shame if we were to share what we're going through or what has happened to us. So tell your story, tell someone, and they will help you. Because like Kathy said, in my own situation, I did tell someone and they became part of my safety net to help me escape hell.
I love it. Part of the safety net. I love that you're sharing your story. I love that you're being authentic. And I love that you're being real. Ladies and gentlemen, they're being real. I mean, they're breaking this thing down all the way down. Yolanda, we've been kind of going back and forth, and I've asked you this question, and I'm going to ask it to you again. Why this chapter and why now?
The chapter for Kathy, again, it seems like I see myself in a lot of these women that's a part of this book. Kathy's chapter, because again, I served in the military. My experience was while I was in the military. So I was able to relate to what she went through because I went through the same thing, the same exact thing. So again, her chapter, because I'm a voice for myself, but it's time for her to share her voice, but also be sharing her voice on behalf of the women who serve in the military. A lot of us have been silent for too long. And so what I'm trying to do is get more women who are veterans or who still serving to open up and be more vocal about what they experience too in the military.
Be more vocal, be more open. Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting the full experience with the authors, or at least a few of the authors from Walk Past Hell Anthology. And they came in to share with you not only their story, but the takeaway. And they've given you each a lesson that you all can walk away. We're going to transition to a segment now, and the segment is called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that are listening right now, and you know what I'm about to do, you can look right below the video and you can write those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that don't know what I'm doing, don't write. You can still write those words. Today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st represents one of those dates on the calendar that is not January 1st. You create a January 1st moment yourself. Anytime you make a decision, and that's what they've been talking about, and you can make a decision. There's probably 1,000 decisions throughout the day, and any one of those decisions could change the trajectory of your life. You make a decision, you're going to work out. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Or you're going to binge watch. That's a January 1st moment. Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu. Or you make a decision, you're going to eat hamburgers and French fries, salt and pepper, ketchup, and my son's got to have some hot sauce. Or that's a January 1st moment. Or you're going to open up the refrigerator, and inside the refrigerator, there's some kale. Oh, that tastes so good. There's some broccoli. Ah, that's really good. There's some carrots. That's a January 1st moment. So it's a fresh start. It's a do-over. It's your past. That past no longer equals your future. So my question for each of them, starting with Shannon, is when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What do you hear? What's going through your mind right now, Shannon?
When I hear that, it actually resonates with me. And I heard that on Clubhouse a few days ago, actually. It tells me that today is a new, fresh start. It doesn't matter what yesterday was. It doesn't matter what tomorrow is. We always make resolutions on January 1st, but it doesn't have to be January 1st to start something new and to start something healthy and to make a change in our life or to make a big decision or to make a drastic move, whether it be, moving from one job to another or one city and state to another. Today is your January 1st to make a difference, to make sure your future is brighter than your past.
Today is your January 1st. It's got to feel good. Happy New Year to everybody out there watching right now. Happy New Year to you. Doesn't that feel good? It has to feel so good to you right now. Today is your January 1st. Don't worry. We're going over to Natalie. And we're going to ask Natalie the exact same question. Today is your January 1st. Today is still your January 1st. Don't worry about it. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, I can't make these stories up. I really can't. She'll hold it with one hand if she got to. She'll be like, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. Today is my January 1st. I'm walking through hell, but don't worry. I'm going to keep on going. So funny. All right, so we hear those words. Today is my January 1st. What goes through your mind?
Today is my January 1st, and I know I can, but today I will. Because oftentimes we say what we can do, or I know I can do it, but on this January 1st, I will do it. So that means that I'm going to actually take the actions to manifest what I've been but what I need to do to better my life, to add value, and to be an intentional servant.
An intentional servant. Today is your January 1st. You at home, today is your January 1st. All right, Kathy, you know what's going on. You're coming down the home stretch right now. When you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind?
A fresh start, a clean slate, a rebirth. Sorry, Shannon, I'm stealing from you. A rebirth. It's the beginning of the story I have decided to tell.
The story you decide to tell, and you get to paint the future. Isn't that a good feeling? That's a good feeling that you're in complete control, 100% control of what's going on. That is so great. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask them each to kind of share what they do and then how they can best connect with you. And don't worry, we're going to come to Dr. Yolanda as soon as you ladies go around. And we're going to start with you, Kathy, first. So just tell them, maybe what line of business you're in, and then how they can best connect with you. If they want to follow you or stay in this conversation over and beyond today, how can they best connect with you?
Well, I am still an active duty Air Force chief and I've been serving for 24 years. So I love what I do, or I wouldn't keep doing it. You can connect with me over Facebook. Literally, Kathy Knisley. Most people misspell my last name, but I'm there. I'm one of few, so I'm easy to find. You can reach out to me over Facebook, over Messenger, and I will message you back.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that. All right. Over to you, Natalie. How can folks tell them what line of business you're in, and how can folks best connect with you? Look, she's holding that camera. She's like, I'm going to hold this thing. It's not going to fall. Don't worry. We won't have your hand up there too long. Okay. I don't want you to feel like, we will miss you, so we don't want you to go anywhere. I mean, they're all cheering for you right now. They say she's walking through hell. She's walking through hell. She's walking through hell. It's kind of like you pledging somewhere, You're walking through hell, but you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. All right, talk to us. Tell us what you do and how we can best connect with you.
I'm an entrepreneur. We just started a new business, Champagne Art and CBD on Howard Avenue in Biloxi, and we're really excited about this venture. I am a cannabis advocate here in the state of Mississippi, the Mississippi State Chapter President of Minorities for Medical Marijuana, and you can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram, Natalie Jones Bonner.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing. And now we're going to go over to the one and only Shannon. You know the drill. What line of business are you in, and how can they connect with you?
I am by day a customs broker. I import and export goods in and out of the country through U.S. Customs. I also am the production manager for the Kim Jacobs Show. So I make sure that we are up and running each and every single day, and we have everything we need to get on the air. And then I'm also a mom. I don't know if that's a job, but I think it's a job. My kids are grown, but the past few days it seems like they're 3 and 4 again. And the best way to get in touch with me is on social media on Facebook. You can look me up, Shannon Hancock. You can also follow me on my website because I just started a business or a professional organization business at www.shannonhancock.com. And that's the easiest way to get me.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Over to you, Dr. Yolanda, the visionary, the one that brought it all together, if you would. Take a moment, if you would. Tell them, of course, what you do, but more importantly, take a moment and talk a little bit about this book. What's the backstory? What's the narrative of why this book had to be written and these authors had to be selected? We all want to know the backstory. I know we got a chance to get a peekaboo in the green room, but there's so many folks that are like, wow, Shay, what's the backstory? This is cool. I love how all this comes together. Can you take a couple minutes and talk about the backstory? Talk to us, Dr. Yolanda Jerry.
And I'm off mute again. Hey.
Hey.
Well, the backstory of the book, My Walk Past Hell, is, the title speaks for itself. Literally, all these women have walked past hell, but it's not just walking past hell. They have endured some deep, deep, deep trauma in their life. Everybody goes through trauma, but these are stories that are going to have you crying, send you on an emotional roller coaster, but you see the victory at the end. And so they didn't stop in hell. They just walked past it. So they made a little pit stop, but they didn't stay there. They walked past it. And so being able to share their stories and giving them a platform to be able to be a voice, not just for themselves, but for others, is why I decided it was time. It was time now to do this book project. And if you haven't seen, I'm sure you have seen it already, the cover speaks for itself. The book speaks for itself. So even if they don't say anything, believe me, the book cover speaks for itself. And so the time is now. Somebody is enduring exactly what they're going through right now. And this is just going to be able to inspire them and let them know that, hey, it's time. It's time to walk past. It's my time to walk past hell. You know, they've gone through the fire. They walked past it. Now it's my time to do the same thing.
Now is the time. Now is the time. So powerful. Walk Past Hell Anthology, or it's really called My Walk Past Hell, right? My Walk Past Hell Anthology. Did you share with them how they get the book in the future? I don't know if you mentioned that or not. Did you mention that? I don't know if I heard that.
So the book will be released the last week in April of this month. Actually, it is April. Well, April 1st. It's April 1st. So the book will be released the last week in this month, and they will be able to get copies of the book. We will be having that book launch date. It's going to happen. You can get the book at mywalkpasthell.com. That's the actual website. Or you'll be able to get the book on Amazon as well. Or you can also get it from one of these beautiful, phenomenal ladies as a part of this book anthology. So there's various ways they can get a copy of the book.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to a segment now called Rapid Fire. And Rapid Fire is when we get to ask any question on our mind. And they can take a pass or they can answer the question. And one of my favorite questions to ask, probably every single episode, is, and this is to each of you, and we'll start with Kathy and work our way backwards. Well, I don't know if it's backwards, but we'll start with Kathy and we'll go around. But the question is, of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, and you had so many mentors, what's one lesson you learned from any of your mentors that you can share with us? So this one lesson. Now, you might not ever meet her mentor, but all of you listening right now, you can take the lesson. So hit the share button. Hit this, like, if you hit it before, hit it again. No, if you hit it before, hit it again. If you're wondering, how do I give a digital applause, Shay? Hit the share button. Like, pay the message forward to someone else. They're here to serve. They're here to serve. All right, we'll start with you, Kathy. What's one of the
So I'm
lessons
not
you
going to
learned?
say any names, but he will know when he hears it. But Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't. I hear a lot of people speaking about things, and the one piece of mentorship advice he always gave me was, don't talk about it, be about it. So I have held on to that for a very, very long time, and it helps. It helps a lot, because instead of the words coming out of your mouth, speak with your actions.
I love it. Don't talk about it, be about it. I love it. I love it. All right, Natalie, talk to us.
My grandmother is the mentor, and she would always say, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. And I share this with everyone who's listening and watching, because you can save yourself from hell if you pay attention. When that person shows you who they are, believe them and walk away before you get in hell.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. This is so much fun. All right, thanks for sharing. All right, Shannon, over to you now.
Let me get myself off of mute. One thing that resonated with me when I was a teenager, and I saw this and somebody had told me this, was smile every day and you'll be beautiful. She said, it doesn't matter if your hair is up or down or you feel like you look a complete mess. Just smile, baby, just smile. And it always resonated with me because I always just thought she was just a beautiful soul. And she might not have been beautiful on the outside, but she was beautiful on the inside. And it just always stuck with me. It just always did. And she was a beautiful woman on the outside too, don't get me wrong. But she just said, just smile and you will always be beautiful. And so even when I was going through my walk past hell, I still smiled because I knew someone out there has been through worse. This was my hell, but my hell is totally different than my beautiful co-authors. So, yep, smile every day and you will always be beautiful.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. As folks are listening right now, they may be wondering, as we're coming down the home stretch, this is probably the second to last question, so we'll start with you, Shannon, and we'll work back around. But the question is, of all the affirmations, and maybe it's an affirmation, maybe it's a quote, maybe it's a saying that you kind of hold near and dear to your heart. Now, if you have one, great. If not, no big deal. But you think about something that you tell yourself in order for you to keep going, in order for you to keep putting one foot in front of the other foot, in front of the other foot, in order for you to keep reaching to be your best. What's a quote? What's the affirmation? What's the belief statement that you have that is top of mind to you right now that you're going to share with the audience? I think that's kind of cool. We want to know. So, Shannon, what's one quote, thought, or idea that you'd like to share with the audience?
There's two that come to mind. The one I used earlier, and the one, believe in yourself. And then the other one is, the prettiest girls are always the happiest girls, or the happiest girls are always the prettiest girls. Because I think that your projection, if you are a happy soul, then it's going to project out, and it's just you're not going to be bubbly, but you're going to give off this air that life is good. And it's a positive energy. And I think that anytime that you have positive, then everybody feels it. It's just something that runs rapid. So I would say those two affirmations are what I say. Always believe in yourself, and happy girls are always pretty girls, which I think was Audrey Hepburn is who quoted that.
Thank you for sharing. Natalie, what's a quote, affirmation, or thought that's top of mind to you right now that you want to share with the audience?
Everything works out exactly the way it's supposed to. That's my daily affirmation, or even when I am going through anything, and even when great things are happening, everything works out exactly the way it's supposed to.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Kathy, over to you.
So something that I tell myself quite often is breathe, because there are moments where you might feel a little pressured, breathe. But the other one is I always remind myself that this is my life. And having that in the back of my head, you end up taking ownership in whatever situation you're in when you're reminded this is your life. You can play it out, say what you need to say, be who you need to be, do whatever you need to do, because this is your life. And it kind of makes the situation real when you're going through it, and it reminds you that you still have the power.
Wow. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. We're coming down the home stretch, and Dr. Yolanda, we're going to let you have closing comments. But first, I'm going to go back around the room, and I'm going to ask each of the ladies. First, I want to thank each of you for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You each have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. Amazing stories, very authentic. And the one thing I know for sure is you're changing lives. You're making a difference. And you're not only providing hope, but you're providing actionable steps that anyone can do. So thank you for all that you're doing. And thank you for being part of this Walk Past Hell Anthology and let me be behind the scenes. It's so much fun. So I'm going to allow you each, maybe not allow, but ask you each to take maybe 90 seconds to give your closing thoughts to the audience that have tuned in, that have watched, that have been here with you right now. They could have been cooking, could have been working on their business, could have been doing a lot of things. But no matter what they're doing, they're tuned in right now. So we'll start the way we'll go back. We'll start with Kathy. You have your closing comments. And then we'll go over to the one and only Natalie. And then Shannon will follow up. And then we'll come to you, Dr. Yolanda Jerry, to take it down the home stretch. All right, over to you, Kathy. Again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Over to you.
Thank you for having us. I want to thank all of the ladies, specifically Dr. Jerry too, but I want to thank all of the ladies for going through this transcendence of myself, and with yours transcendence as well, but doing this all together. It is comforting to know I have you. None of you are alone. No matter where you are in the world right now, you're not alone. If you can hear this, you're not alone. And you can do it. Whatever it is that you set your mind to, you can do it. And you can feel the amount of power you have in your soul at this moment, because it's in there. Believe in it. Breathe. Don't talk about it, be about it, and take that first step forward. So again, thank you all. It's being a part of this project is a huge deal because I have found that voice that I needed to be a part of voice of many. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. Over to you, Natalie, for your closing comments and thoughts. And again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
I want to thank everyone, and I definitely want to thank Dr. Jerry and our sisterhood, our Anthology sisterhood, the ones that aren't a part of this forum. They are there to support us, as Kathy and Shannon have both said. And my parting words for those that are watching and listening is that your past does not dictate your future. So just keep in mind, no matter what situation you're in right now, you will overcome that, and it does not dictate where you're going in the future, because the past is no longer exists. All you have is the present and the future. So if you are in hell right now, reach out to someone. Actually, the lady, Dr. Yolanda Jerry, reach out to her. Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. She will help you. And those are my parting words.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate it. Thank you for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Over to you, Shannon, for your parting thoughts. We appreciate you as well being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
I just wanted to. I just wanted to say thank you for having us on, Shay. We really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. J, for setting this up. I think this has been a phenomenal show. I think it's been really touching. And my final thoughts is if you need a friend, you got a friend in 30 of us. Any 30 of us would be more than happy to help any of our audience to get where they need to go, to be a sounding board, to be, help look up resources if they're in a bad situation. So you're not alone. You're never going to be alone. And we are Dr. Jerry's tribe. So just reach out and we'll be there for you. And I appreciate her bringing us all together. And I appreciate all of my beautiful co-authors for being my best friends, my close friends, my sisters in my tribe.
Thank you so much for sharing. We certainly appreciate that. Dr. Yolanda, it's over to you. This is you. We're here. You brought it all together. What was once a vision is now a reality. What was once a thought is now happening real time. And someone that has a lot of faith, your faith has hit the feet right now because they're here and they're making it happen. So I'm going to turn it over to you to have your closing thoughts and comments. And again, thanks for allowing us to host these authors and so many more that are part of this. We appreciate all you're doing, Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Over to you.
Thank you, Shay. You are always happy. I promise y'all. He's happy 24 hours, 7 days, 7 days a week. But thank you so much for having us on your platform and just, having an opportunity to be able to share some of these women on your platform. And even in the future to come, I'm sure I'll be bugging you about that again in the future. But what I want to say is thank you to not just the ladies that are on this screen right now, but the ones that have come in the comments in the chat section, and even the ones that couldn't make it. I am truly thankful for each and every one of them. They say I've been an inspiration to them, but they've been an inspiration to me in more than many ways. And they pour into me daily. I'm telling you, if you can see us in the chat box all the time in the messenger, it's never a dull moment. We're either praying, we're crying, we're laughing, we're cracking jokes. And that's what life is about. Life is about having fun, enduring the good times, the bad times, just enduring everything together. And when you can have an experience with many of these women in one place, I mean, it's, as Natalie said, it's a safe space. Shannon and Kathy, it's a sisterhood, and not only that, this is a movement. My Walk Past Hell is a movement. Yes, this is Dr. Jerry's tribe. And as Shannon said, come on and join us. We are not discriminating against anybody, because at the end of the day, we are here to serve people. And the biggest thing about me is servant leadership. I believe in servant leadership. We are called to serve God's people. And we are put on this earth to help people. There have been people that have helped me. There have been people that helped Shay. There's been people that helped Kathy, Shannon, Natalie, and the list can go on. Someone has helped us. So why should we not help the other people in this world that are suffering through trauma right now? So again, if you are walking right now, or should I say, if you are crawling in hell right now, let us help you walk past hell. Reach out to any of us. As they mentioned, it's 30 of us. 30 of us that you can reach out to right now if you need the help. And we are here. We're open. We're God's children, and we're being used as a vessel to be able to impact the world together. My mantra that I live by every day is accept the past, focus on the now, impact the future. Our life is a journey, is an experience, and we're going to always have past happening all the time because we age, we get older, and we're going to endure trauma over and over again sometimes, but we have to learn to embrace that past, accept it. And when we do that, we can focus on the task at hand, the life at hand in that moment. So that way, when we find out what we're truly doing, we can use that gift to be able to impact the people in the future. And so that's all that I have. That's my closing words. And just know that not only does God love you, but we all love you.
Thank you all so much for being here. We certainly appreciate that. Dr. Yolanda Jerry and part of the authors from Walk Past Hell Anthology. For you at home right now, you're a champion. You now can walk past hell. For you at home right now, now is the time. And for you, I want you to know what you're watching right now. We appreciate you. You're already a champion. Your future is so bright right now. Put your sunglasses on. For you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, for those folks that are curious who's making all that noise, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. and I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this. Time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. You got to live in the moment, and you got to make it count. God bless. We wish you success. Thanks a lot, ladies. We're gone. We'll see you later. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for hitting the share button. We're out of here. Peace. We got to roll. Later. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown. Mic check, mic check. All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. Yes. Yeah. And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.